my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova, and today I am having a little crochet and chat session with you. So this is a little bit different from normal because I have a slightly different setup and I am so stoked about it. So I had a different type of device to hold my phone while recording. Let me lean over and grab it for you. So it looked like this. It was like a flexible, I don't know, stick. And then it had this. For one, this is so small compared to my phone. But, so yes, it was very difficult to get my phone in here in the first place. But also I was having an issue, you might have noticed in some of my, especially in my recent tutorials, I was having an issue with this shaking really bad. And this clamps onto my desk, by the way, which the current one also clamps on, but it's a different style and I'm so excited about it. I think it's going to make my tutorials look so much nicer. This holds my phone so much more steady. Also, it can be further away because it's got a much longer arm. And if I remember to, I'll pop up like a picture of what this one looks like. But yeah, I am like very excited about it because I feel like this is just going to elevate things and make it better looking, you know, a step in the right direction. And a huge shout out to my sister because she got this for me. I was talking about how I needed to get a new, I don't know if you want to call it a tripod because it's not really a tripod, but I guess a new desktop filming stand for when I'm doing tutorials, because I have these plans for the summer crochet along, and I was like, yeah, but I really need to get a new stand. And then I was like searching through Amazon, comparing reviews, looking at the different styles. And I had seen some like this in ads before, like in this style, but they were ridiculously expensive. Like we're talking like $100, you know, roughly price range. And then I found this one on Amazon and it was on sale. And I sent it to my chat and I was like, yeah, I think something like this would be amazing. And then she messaged me a little bit later telling me it would be there tomorrow. So huge shout out to her. I am so grateful for her. I was actually like worried it wouldn't be on sale when I would have the money to be able to get it. So yes. Also, it meant that I got it right away. I don't know. I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful. I feel very loved and supported and cared for, and it meant a lot to me. But yeah, so I am testing it out today. Not doing a tutorial. I wanted to test it out and do like a little crochet and chat because I wanted to film with it and see how it comes out, because I have this higher up than what I'm accustomed to, and the way that I usually have it with my other one that is definitely out of commission now, because this thing, even not seeing the results yet, it's 10 million times better. What was I saying? Oh, I normally can see my phone screen. Like I can at least stretch up to see it, you know, and see what it looks like. To know like, oh, I'm in frame. Oh, things are focused, you know, whatever, however things are looking. And this one, I have it so far up that I can't. I would have to stand up to see the screen. So I wanted to do like a little trial run, see how we're looking, and then I can look at the footage afterwards and see if I need to adjust anything, you know, all that kind of stuff. So you're not going to be seeing this video until like several weeks from now. I am working on my hooker versus hooker make, so I'm not allowed to show you guys this until after we do the judging. And since this is May's hooker versus hooker, it won't be until June that I can show you this. But it's still good for me now to do the practice filming with it, and you know, we can just hang out, and then you guys can hang out with me in the future. So right now I am working on making a baby dress. So if you guys didn't know, the hooker versus hooker challenge is a baby item, and it has to be in one single color of yellow, green, and white. and you can't use more than one shade, you can't use more than one yarn. It has to be the same yarn, and you could just get those 3 colors. So I have changed my mind a bunch of times on what I was going to make. I was going to make a lovey, and then I was going to make a rag doll. I even started making them and I actually, oh no, I don't have it right here. I was going to show you guys what the rag doll had looked like, but I am going to scrap that. Anyway, I didn't finish the rag doll by any means. I was just going to show you the start of it that I had done. But I was like super torn because I wanted to like go big or go home. Like, this is hooker versus hooker, you know? And I felt like a lovey or a rag doll, like anything that was like super baby oriented, that was going to be amigurumi, was going to be really simple, was the issue I was having. And like, I was really digging deep to like come up with a way to make it like more complex. I felt like I needed to do something that had like a new skill to it, or something that was going to challenge me in some way to like really give it my best. You know what I mean? Like, not just to cop out and do something that's easy, like a really simple amigurumi. So I was like trying to figure out what I could do that would still meet the criteria, because the criteria for this challenge is not amigurumi, it is baby item. So I really felt like it needed to fit the bill for a baby item. And I just couldn't come up with a way to do a baby item like amigurumi, lovey, you know, something along those lines that wasn't just going to be too simple for the challenge. You know, I wanted it to be a challenge. I wanted to know that I put like my best foot forward, and you know, if I win, then I earned it, and if I don't win, then that's cool. I put my best foot forward and I can be proud of myself. So I changed my mind literally so many times, and it is like the 10th. And I'm just now like settled on what I'm making because I changed my mind so many times. But I decided to go with a baby dress. Because this is definitely something outside of my typical wheelhouse. I've made one singular baby dress. I've never made any other dresses in general. Wearables are really not my comfort zone. And I thought that was, I was happy with myself for going outside of my comfort zone and trying to do something that is outside the box for me. And that was partially also because Lala on Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, who is the channel that you can go to see Hooker versus Hooker for May, and then also Jan and Alaskan Crafter. It'll be for next month, so when you're seeing this, it'll be on Jan's channel for June, so just so you know. But anyway, she kind of called me out during Hooker versus Hooker, the beginning of the month video where we find out our challenge, where she was like, really, amigurumi? Like, you know, I think she'll challenge herself to do something that's not, you know, like easy for her. Talking about me, and you know, of course I was like, oh, don't put that on me, because I was like, oh, baby item, I can do amigurumi. And you guys know amigurumi is not only my comfort zone, it is my that's like my passion for crochet. I really like to do amigurumi. But she had a point, like she wasn't wrong. It would have been me leaning into my comfort zone. And I got a drink, sorry. And I was like, you know what? Of course, that echoed around in my head. So I was like, I got to do something different. So I considered doing like a baby blanket or a wearable. I thought about doing a hat. I was like, what if I do... I'll tell you guys some different ideas that I had. I really wanted to do or consider doing like a sleep cap. You know, like those old timey, like big sleep caps that like hang down and have like a pom-pom at the end and stuff like that. But considering I only had 3 colors to do it with, and like, I don't know, I wasn't sure about the sizing and stuff like that. It just didn't seem like a very feasible thing. And like, once again, I wanted to make sure it fit the bill for baby item, and I thought it might just be a little bit too out there. But I still think that would be so cute. And then I thought about doing a baby blanket. Like, I did ponder over that. But then I was like, I'm going to do a dress. And I have an idea for this dress. And I will probably try to take you guys along for different steps of it. So what I'm currently doing is just working up the top of the dress. And the top of this dress, I'm working up in the way that I learned to do the top of the dress that I did before. Like I said, I've only done one dress, one baby dress and one dress in general. And this is the way I learned to do it. So I want to give you guys the scoop on that you should head over to Bag O' Day Crochet if you are interested in learning how to make a baby dress. This isn't something that I'll make a tutorial on or anything like that, because I learned this skill from Crystal over at Bag O' Day. And I'm really passionate about making sure I credit people where I get my like skills or where I learn things. So if you're interested in making a baby dress, head over to her channel. She's got a ton of baby dress tutorials. I've only made one, like I said, and I am just using the same technique that I learned to start it. But this is also, I made a tank top for myself, which I'm actually wearing right now, ironically, using a Cinnamon Stitches tutorial. And it's like the same general concept of how you start that too. And actually, because of making the baby dress and making the Cinnamon Stitches top, I've actually freehanded a couple of like little shirts or jackets or dresses for amigurumi using those same skills, those same techniques. So that's why I'm going with the same technique, because I have an understanding of how to do it now, because it was actually the same technique for the tank top that I learned from Cinnamon Stitches, which was the Summer Breeze tank top. And then this dress that I had done was the spring dress, and they had the same kind of technique for starting out. So I think it's just a really basic technique for starting out, you know, a top. And I've used it, like I said, I've made a jacket, I've made a dress, and I just used the same skill. The dress I made actually was exactly the same. I made like a little amigurumi dress. You know what? Let me go grab it for you guys, because you guys are at like such a nice little angle for me to show you. Let me run away from the camera for a moment. All right, I'm back. Well, mostly. All right, so since we're here, I actually used the same skills when I freehanded this, and then I did some, these are like flowers, I can't remember. When I made this, I told you guys where I learned how to do this little flower thing. I think it might have been a Bag O' Day tutorial, I can't remember, but I just added those onto here, and they're like worked in as you're making it. I don't even remember how you did that. Oh wait, I think I remember how you do that. I made this like a year ago, but I did this with a really thin little yarn. I think this was a 2/8 yarn, and I used the same techniques to make the top of this. So yeah, I was really happy with it. I think this is so cute. This is one of my favorite things I've made. But anyway, so that's what I'm working on, is this hooker versus hooker make. And I have an idea. I want to try doing something that I've never done before, which is going to be a controlled pooling, or, you know, switching colors or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's considered mosaic. I'm not sure. But either way, I want to try doing some color work in this dress if I can. So I'm going to be using yellow and green and white. And I haven't picked out the yarns for the green or white yet, because I haven't gotten to it yet. But for the yellow, I knew, while I was thinking about it, I knew what yarn I wanted to use. And it's this Schitt's Creek yarn. Okay, so this yarn, I was so excited about it because Schitt's Creek is a TV show that I really, really loved. It was so funny. Just a really funny show. But my sister ended up watching this show because of my recommendation, and then she ended up loving it. And so we like send each other memes and like gifs all the time of this show in response to everything. Like everything we're ever talking about, there's a Schitt's Creek gif to respond with. So this is going to be, this dress, when I'm done with it, will be for my niece, which is my sister's daughter. And she's like 3 months old right now, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, she's like 3 months old. And this particular one, I was excited about it when I saw the name of it. I literally bought this one because of the name of the colorway, which is Fold in the Cheese. If you've ever seen this show, Fold in the Cheese is a really hilarious scene from the show. So I thought that this would be meaningful to my sister also, maybe like a little keepsake, you know, but, you know, no pressure to her, of course, to keep it. But I thought that she would get a kick out of it, because it's not only going to be a little baby dress for Junie, it's also going to be, you know, kind of incorporating something that we bonded over. And it's going to have this Fold in the Cheese Schitt's Creek yarn in there. And then also, she's also been getting into crochet a little bit. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just realized I'm the worst sister ever in the middle of filming this. She had something for Community Spotlight. Oh, I'm so terrible. I'm a horrible person. I'm going to have to like figure something out with that. Okay, anyways, I won't dwell on it, but I forgot to. She never emails me her Community Spotlight makes. And I know it sounds silly to have your sister email you, but I never remember when I'm doing my editing. It's usually like 5 o'clock in the morning. I never remember that she sent me things outside of my email. I'm such a horrible person. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, so she's been getting into crochet a little bit lately. She didn't know how to crochet. And she actually did try to learn to crochet when I had first started getting into it and was really enjoying it. But she was really struggling with it. So when I went to Michigan, when I was visiting, I taught her how to crochet. So she has been practicing that a little bit and like really liking it and getting into it. So this being a Schitt's Creek yarn is also going to be cool for her, and the fact that she is like a yarny person now too. And I'm planning on sending the ball band with this too. That way, if, you know, she does keep it as like a little keepsake or memento after Junie wears it, you know, she'll have that little Schitt's Creek yarn ball label, and it'll be a fun memory. And I know that I'm being extra, but like my sister is also very extra. I was like envisioning like a shadow box with like this little dress in it, and Junie wearing the little dress, like pictures, and then maybe this like ball band in there, and like just like a cute little shadow box. I don't know. That's just me being so over the top, but my sister is also just very over the top, so we're very similar people. Anyway, so that's the yarn that I'm using right now. And then the green and the white will just kind of be whatever. I want to go with a lighter green, so I'll just look for whatever worsted weight lighter green that I have. And then for white, I actually really am so limited on whites. That's something I noticed when I was doing this challenge, getting into my stash. I have like a very big lack of variety when it comes to white yarn. I don't even think I have a worsted weight white yarn right now in like a reasonable amount. So I'll probably do sparkly yarn, just because I do have a white sparkly yarn. I have a few white sparkly yarns, but one of them has like a gold metallic strand that runs through it, and I feel like that would not meet the criteria. They said we can use sparkly yarn, but I don't know about like sparkly yarn that has like a gold strand that runs through it. I might ask about it. But I do have a sparkly yarn that is just like more traditionally sparkly looking than like, you know, a metallic strand that you can see like that. 'Cause gold does stand out on white, and that's the only thing, is like I'm not sure if that would count, so I might have to ask about that. But yeah, anyway, now I need to work on making the armholes. So I've been doing stacked double crochets or stacked single crochets rather than chains. Do I think I can still do that? Because this is how you do a stacked single crochet, by the way. I've talked about them before, but never shown you guys. You do a chain, and then for this particular time, I need to turn my work. Anyway, so you do your chain, and then you do a single crochet, and then you go, like, this is your single crochet. It's kind of hard to see in this yarn, but this is your single crochet right here. You go into just this like front post like only one of them, this like front left hand cornered one, and then you do another single crochet. And then that just stacks your single crochets. You work into the top of that single crochet on top, and this effectively looks like a double crochet, at least a lot more than a chain does. So that is what I am doing. And now I need to count for a moment. 3. Oh, and I'm using my new furls hook. I meant to mention that too. This is the first project where I'm like officially making it with the furls hook. I've tried it out a little bit here and there, just kind of swapping to it to test it out. But I got this for Christmas, and it is a 5.5. And it is so stunningly gorgeous. I don't know how great the camera will pick it up. It probably is picking it up so nice because it's under the ring light. But it is so, so gorgeous. I'm so excited about these still. Like, I can't believe I have furls hooks. But I haven't used it really because, like, I haven't used it like straight up for a project because I didn't get these with the intention of using them on amigurumi. I am afraid I would break a resin hook on amigurumi since you do a lot of tight stitches and you put more pressure on your crochet hook. And I've just heard a lot about how resin hooks break easily. You know, don't drop them, don't put like a ton of pressure on them, you'll snap them, that kind of stuff. I decided not to keep count, and I'm just going to crochet, and then I'll go back and count it real quick and see what I'm at, and I can like remove or add stitches. Oops. But this is my first time doing like a project with this hook, and it is so nice, you guys. I'm really loving it. I'm loving it. So I'm really feeling this project. I'm like making it really special between the yarn choice and the hook choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What? No way. I just accidentally did this exactly how many stitches I wanted to. But actually I counted my first chain there, so I do need to do one more stitch. Or my stacked single crochets. That was crazy though. Okay, and then now I need to skip some stitches so that I can do an armhole. Just throw a few chains here. And then skip some stitches. One moment while I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then we're just gonna go over here. Or actually, do a double crochet. Or do I slip stitch? I don't remember how I do this part. Let me play with it for a second and see how I think. And then I would just continue doing double crochets. Can't remember if I slip stitch on over there or if I just start with a double crochet. I'm gonna assume I start with a double crochet. That looks right. But yeah, so I'll probably stop filming pretty soon and then come back when I'm doing the color work to kind of show you guys what I'm doing with the color work, if I can figure out a way to make it work. I'm not, like I said, I'm not actually making the dress that I made before. This is what this is starting to look like, by the way, so you can start to see it forming a dress. I'm not making the dress that I made before. I'm just using the skills that I learned for how to make the top of this before I like get to the dress part of it. And that's why I'm referring you guys over to Bag a Day, especially if you want a tutorial, because this isn't a tutorial, or isn't going to be a tutorial. But I am planning on doing some just free-handed, coming up with something. I really want to do something cool and different and unique and not something that maybe people have seen before. I know that, like, I'm not saying I'm some like revolutionary in wearables, because I'm absolutely not. But I just mean, like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to just follow a pattern. I want to like try to Try to do something a little bit different. But anyways, guys, hopefully this has been successful. The new breaking in of the, I'm just going to call it a tripod, even though it's not a tripod because it doesn't have 3 legs, which is what makes a tripod. But I don't know. Desk mounted holder. Anyways, hopefully it looks good, but I'll be back and we can continue this when I get a little bit further. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are taking care and that you and your loved ones are doing the best that you can. I am excited to finally be able to share with you guys my Hooker versus Hooker make for May. If you were not able to go to the live and see it, you should head over and check out that live. You can watch the replay. I will link it in the description box below, but just in case you missed it, I will link it there. And then also I can finally show you guys what I made on my channel. So in case you didn't know what Hooker versus Hooker is, it is a monthly challenge that is hosted over on either an Alaskan Crafter Jan's channel or Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming's channel. I'll link both of those down below so you can go check them out. They alternate months about which channel the live takes place on, but basically it is the two of them hosting this challenge for crochet. That's hence the name Hooker versus Hooker. So the way that it works is a picker is drawn for both deciding what we're making, and a picker is drawn for deciding what yarns we will use. The person deciding what we make can decide anything, for example, amigurumi or baby item or something like that. And then the colors can be anywhere from 2 to 5 colors. And those colors that they decide on, we get to pick, or anyone who participates gets to pick one yarn to go with that color. So for example, if green is chosen, you might pick this green. This is the only green you can use if this is the green that you choose. You can only pick one yarn to go with each color. And that is all the colors that you're allowed to use. Whatever colors they tell you, that's it. You get one yarn for each one of them, and that's it. You cannot bring in other colors. They do allow a little bit of accessory type things depending on the project. For example, if you're making a baby wearable or something, you might have a button. If you're making amigurumi, you might have polyfill or safety eyes, things like that. So that is what Hooker versus Hooker is. I was chosen to be the podcaster for Hooker versus Hooker in May, which if you've been around a little bit, you've probably heard me talking about it because I've talked about it quite a bit throughout May. And the item chosen was a baby item. Now, we got 3 colors for our baby item, and I'm going to show you the yarns I chose first. So the first yarn that I chose was this Red Heart with Love metallic. I used a full skein of this and a little bit more of a second skein. The second color is white, and we are allowed to use sparkle yarns, by the way. I did, or they did say so, and I also made sure to get approval to make sure, I wanted to make sure I followed the rules. So I used this yarn from Hobby Lobby. This is the ivory colorway of I Love This Yarn Metallic. I used most of this skein. As you can see, this is pretty floppy. I used a good chunk of it. And then I used the Schitt's Creek yellow. It is the Fold in the Cheese colorway. You guys know, if you've been around for a little bit, when I got this, I was so excited about it. I love this show, and Fold in the Cheese is just a really funny joke. It's a really funny scene from the show, so I had to have this, and I bought a 3-pack of it. And this is actually a pretty fat skein, and you can see it is, it's a really thick yarn, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I did use a significant bit of this as well. So those were my 3 colors. Those were all the yarns I was allowed to use for my baby item. Now, before I even show it to you, I'm going to tell you guys, I went outside my comfort zone. So it was a baby item, which means I could have made a lovey. I could have even made an amigurumi. But last month's hooker versus hooker, well, April's, technically they're on to June's now, so mine is last month's. But April's hooker versus hooker was amigurumi, and Lala gave me a little bit of a challenge and said, oh, she's not gonna just do what's easy for her. I think everybody knows amigurumi is my favorite thing to crochet. It is what I mostly crochet, and it is definitely my wheelhouse. It's definitely where my experience lies. So baby items, I've made one baby dress, and I decided to challenge myself and make a baby dress. I used the skills that I learned from the first baby dress that I made about a year ago. It was last spring. I made a baby dress for my niece. I used a Bag O' Day crochet tutorial, and using the skills that I learned making that about how to construct a baby dress, I freehanded a baby dress for this challenge. So here is how it came out. And I love it so much. I really do think it came out so cute. So it's got a very, very fluffy little skirt, puffs out so much. And I think the best way to show this to you guys will probably be to put my arm through it. Okay, there we go. So I used that white sparkly yarn for the neck trim and the arm trims. I did picots all on the arms, so it gave this really frou-frou-y, pretty effect. This is that fold in the cheese yarn that I used. And then I really challenged myself and did some color work. So I did some color work down here, and then I changed to green, and I did big fluffy skirts, and then I switched back to white to put a little border on it. Then I came back up and I did a little bit of surface stitching here, surface crochet to do a stalk for a flower, and I sewed a leaf on, and then I crocheted a daisy using that same white yarn and that same yellow, and I sewed that on. So that is how I made this little daisy dress, and I am so happy with it. I think it came out really cute. I'm proud of it. You know, like I said, I went outside my wheelhouse with it, so I'm proud of myself for challenging myself and not doing something that I was like the most confident in. And then I did a little sparkly yellow button, almost called it a bead, back here for the closure, and that'll make it easier to get on the baby's head because you can open it and it opens up quite a bit, and then close it back up. But that is how I made my little dress. I'm so happy with it. I think it came out so cute, and I'm really glad that I challenged myself to do it. And like I said, I did something a little bit different than what I would normally do. And now I have a dress for my new niece. So she's going to be getting this little daisy dress. I think I'm literally just going to be super basic and literally call it the daisy dress, because the color scheme is super daisy. The flower is a daisy, and I think it's cute. I think it came out super cute. But that was my hooker versus hooker make.